This is the epilogue of Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones, and welcome back. It is time for me to be on my way, my friends. As the Princess of Ralston, I still have many duties to perform. Oh, Princess Eirika, if it please you, I would be ever so delighted if you join my teacup. I insist that you come. Oh, say you will, won't you? General, I'm much to do here in Gehenna. I'll start with what can be done and keep going from there. First, I must talk to Mother. She should know that we've won, so that she can rest easily. Here in Renai, we of Freya will do what we can to aid in the restoration of Renai. If you have need of our assistance, you have but to ask. I seldom trust people who act from purely altruistic motives, but I'll grant you that friendships are a worthy exception to my distrust. We finally made it home, haven't we? You must be exhausted after the journey. Shall we rest, Eirika? That would be nice. But first we must seal this away. This stone banished the Demon King. With such power, do you suppose we could bring back Father and Lion? That everyone who died in this dreadful war could be... Eirika. I know. Such things would be. I cannot wish for such things. No matter how it hurts, or rather because it hurts, we must learn to accept sorrow. We must take it into our hearts and tame our grief. Eirika, tell me, sister. If Lion were here with us, what do you think he would want? What he would want? Yes, you see, I think I know. It was the reason for his studies. It's why he wanted to know about the Sacred Stones, or rather, the Fire Emblem. Let's take Lion's dream and fulfill them in its stead. We can do that, can't we? Without relying on any mystical power? You're right, brother. We can. Let's fulfill his dreams. As Lion wanted, as we all want. So we may live in peace and joy. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Let's Play Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones, and oh my god, I'm finally finished with this goddamn game. Woohoo! As this being part of the Fire Emblem saga, I can only say that was a lot to take in and a lot to deal with because 28 days just didn't cover it. But it is finished and I'm done with Fire Emblem forever. I'm going to stick with Final Fantasy and Advance Wars from now on. And Super Robot Tyson. So, I've been the Tenkaichi of Gaming, Ichigo Musko, and I want to thank you for watching this Let's Play of Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. Until next time of whatever kind of game I will tackle, I will see you around. So until then, take care, and God bless. Oh, are you? I'm... My name is Lion. Uh-huh. That's me, the son of the Emperor. You're Prince Ephraim and Princess Eirika from Renai, aren't you? I heard you were coming, and I've been waiting here all day. I've always wanted... I don't have any friends my own age. So, Prince Ephraim, Princess Eirika, what do you say? From now on, let's be friends. Yeah, and here we go. These are the ranking, the support endings. Seth returned to Renai with Ephraim and his fellow knights. His dedicated service made him the most trusted of the new king and queen's guardsmen, as well as the most famous knights in all Renai. Franz the Faithful. He continued to serve Renai with the same devotion that he had during the War of the Stones. His generous nature and easy smile made him a favorite among the people. Silent Gilliam. Gilliam returned to his home of Frelia, where he continued to serve the crown as a faithful knight. His imposing countenance was said to strike fear in the hearts of even the most arrogant and brash of Frelia's new recruits. Mulder, wise counselor. After the War of the Stones, Mulder continued to serve the royal family of Frelia. His wisdom served to guide King Enos as it served King Haydn before him. Vanessa, dutiful writer. She remained on active duty as an airborne knight in Frelia's army. Her beauty and determination became the standard to which her fellow knights aspired. Ross, his father's son. He returned to Ide, village of his youth, and helped rebuild it after the bandit attack that brought it to ruin. Years later, he set out on his own to perfect his fighting skill and own both body and spirit. Garcia, the warrior reborn. He returned to Ide with the help of its reconstruction. With its reconstruction. Oh my God, I can't read. After the bandit attack, afterward he re-enlisted in the army, serving Renai as a troop leader. His strength, valor, and experience inspired many. Colm, good-natured thief. He politely refused an invitation to become a spy for Renai, returning instead to his hometown. He spent the rest of his days as a chivalrous rogue, helping those in need from the shadows. Neimi, the Tearful archer. She returned to her village and passed her days in peace and quiet. Years later, she traveled to the capital of Renai as an archery instructor for their military. She never could resist a good cry. Arthur, Saint of Light. Arthur moved to Renai to help rebuild the shattered country. He worked without rest to ease the pain and grief of those who suffered during the war. His self-sacrifice made him into a folk hero among the peasantry. Lute, Prodigy. After the War of the Stones, Lute returned to Renai to continue her arcane studies. She spent far less time locked in her library, preferring now to explore the outside world. She grew into a great and well-traveled sage. I should say so. Joshua, the Tempest King. Joshua returned to Gehenna and ruled over it as king. His skills as a leader had grown great, and Gehenna flourished as never before. He never outgrew his love of travel and games of chance. Natasha, Sacred Healer. Yeah. Once the war was over, Natasha returned to Grotto to help rebuild the Empire. She dedicated herself to easing the grief of those families that lost soldiers during the war. Forde, the Wild Knight. Upon Forde's return to Renai, his secret hobby of painting was discovered. He was commissioned as a court artist. His work grew popular and his days became so busy that he often regretted his career change. Kyle, Ardent Knight. His service to the royal family of Renai continued without change. He became a battalion commander and gained much trust and responsibility for training new recruits. Tana, Wing Queen. Tana lived happily in the prosperous post-war Frelia. She flew to Renai often to visit her dear friend Eirika. Ines, King and Strategian. As time went on, he succeeded his father, Hayden, as King of Frelia. His resourcefulness and technical prowess helped him build a court of loyal vassals that served to lead the country to a greater prosperity. Graceful Syrene. Syrene continued as a commander of Frelia's Pegasus Knights. Her grace and beauty in flight were the subject of many songs and paintings, and her popularity soared. Amelia, Rose of War. Following the war, she returned to Grotto to assist in her country's reconstruction. She surrounded herself with new friends and used the strength she found on the battlefield to live her life in happiness. Dutiful, Obsidian General. Following the war, Dutiful returned to Grotto, where he was instrumental in its rebuilding. He spent his remaining years watching over Grotto and sharing his wisdom with other nations as an expert combat instructor. No, Watcher of Darkness. No returned to Grotto, where he dedicated himself to rebuilding it and fulfilling Lion's vision. When the country was restored to its former glory, he disappeared without a trace, never to be seen again. Laurel, Queen of Light. She succeeded her uncle as ruler of Ralston theocracy several years after the war ended. She never lost her unique perspective on life. She spent much of her rule visiting the neighboring countries. Doza of the Steady Axe. As Laurel rose to become queen, he remained by her side, watching Laurel grow to become the queen she was destined to be. Was Doza's greatest joy in life. Renak, Rich Merchant. Laurel summoned Renak back to Ralston and he was forced to return. He was never able to escape his service to the self-centered princess, who became queen. Admittedly, he didn't try very hard. Apparently he didn't. Gerik, Desert Tiger. Gerik continued as a mercenary. Over the years, his reputation grew so great that he had more job offers than he could handle. One day, without warning, he left, never to return. Tempest, beloved dancer. She danced from city to city, and the entire continent became her stage. Her fame grew and grew, and large crowds gathered wherever she performed. Ewan, enthusiastic student. Ewan continued his studies, modeling his life after the teachings of Sade. Eventually, his education branched off into different paths. His insatiable curiosity led him on a trip to explore the world. Saleh, the Well of Wisdom. Saleh returned to Carapilin, where he remained a faithful servant of the Monikate. His days were not spent in isolation, though. Many of the friends he met during the War of the Stones came to visit his village. Myrrh, the Great Dragon. After bidding her farewells to Ephraim, she returned to Darkling Woods. She lived a long and full life, served by the people of Carapilin and comforted by the memories of her dear friends. Ephraim, Restoration King. Busy days awaited him upon his return to Renai. He oversaw the rebuilding not only of his own country, but also of the entire continent of Magvel. His work was difficult, but his success made him a legend. Eirika, Restoration Queen. Eirika returned to Renai and began the reconstruction effort with her brother, Ephraim. Seeing peace return to the lives of her people filled her with happiness. Her smile became a symbol of her people's joy. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. That is basically the end. I'll see you next time.